All right. Let's slate this professionally, like we always should.
Slate?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamie Stevenson, also known as Dream Logician.
And I am Anthony, also known as Bright Star.
And we're here playing your games that you've submitted for Ludum Dare 33.
We're with Tech Valley Game Space, and we welcome you to our Twitch channel.
Yes.
Or if you're watching on YouTube, we welcome you as well. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.
Check the description down below, if there is one. What else do people on YouTube say? Hey, this game is called Monster.
When we're done, we gotta do the making of video.
Yeah.
As soon as this...
Okay. Oh, one for the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Monster by Yaroslav Kravtsov. Apologies for mispronunciation. Okay. You know that you are a monster. This is not a surprise on this Ludum Dare, but you don't know why everybody calls you the monster. This is a short story-driven game. You can complete it in 10 minutes. Excellent. Better to play with sound. Very well. Controls WASD plus mouse look, spacebar for jump. Made with lots of tools. Excellent. Let's play. Activate Unity player. Sure. Allow. Ludum Dare. Lana. Choose your action. Oh boy! I can either kill one man and save 1,000,000 people, do nothing and let them all die, or kill 1,000,000 people and save one man.
Oh. I know.
Which would you choose?
I know what I would do. I would exit the game, because that's the only way to win.
Whoa! Let's not be so presumptuous.
Alright.
Let's be very utilitarian.
This is a game about the illusion of choice.
What do you mean? There's clearly 3 different choices here. I don't understand. I'm going to kill one man and save 1,000,000 people. That's a lot of people, any way you slice it. Here we go. I clicked it. Oh.
Landing accomplished. All systems functional.
Oh, cool. Was that like my character
Connected
creation?
to the control center.
I believe you know who you are and why you are here. Monster. I control this mission. Maria is our operator. She will be your guide.
Hello, I've set the navigation marker for you. Please, follow it.
Cool. I'm going to follow Maria's instructions. Go to this navigation marker. Neat looking area I'm in here. I like it. Oh, should I, Taro? Maria didn't tell me to hold shift. She's commanding this mission, not you.
Good. I see you understand the basics.
Thank you.
Here is the next target. There should be something interesting.
I certainly hope so. I was just wondering if that initial choice was similar to the old...
Oxygen level. 98%.
Uh-oh. I better stop talking. Serve my oxygen. I was wondering if it was like Ultima 4. Ethical dilemmas as character creation. Am I right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ultima 4?
By the way, Quick plug for the website Clickhole. You should check out their Clickhole quiz, Are You a Good Person? It's an online quiz about the illusion of choice.
It really makes you think.
It does really make you think. One of my favorite things that they've ever done.
It looks artificial, isn't it? You are on track. Inspect these objects thoroughly and go to the next point.
It doesn't
Battery
go.
level,
Ah!
95%.
Uh-oh. Losing power and oxygen. Have I inspected these thoroughly? It's thorough enough. Ooh.
Anchors away.
Navigation marker is updated. The target is nearby.
Game is like some kind of walking simulator. I only like games where I can jump. Things with swords. Whoa!
Be careful. We are not finished yet.
Exactly. You are not supposed to die here. Move faster. Don't waste our time.
Whoa.
I've set the new coordinates.
That's just like Taro telling me to hold shift. He wants me to move faster too.
Yeah.
Running simulator. Should have to mash the shift key. And it's a game. Then and only then.
These are remains of the old civilization. Just useless ruin now.
Whoa.
Look, to the right. Do you have to go around that mountain?
I'm trying to go around the mountain currently.
That triangle.
This is like Shadow of the Colossus. Like navigating this way. Oh. Did it. Is a sentinel gonna come out and attack me? Play that
This
old
is
game?
only the beginning. I got new data. More buildings ahead.
Boy.
Oxygen level, 91%.
Uh-oh.
Is this like the aftermath of what you've done and they're making you look at it and say, look what you did?
Who knows?
Ashamed of yourself.
Not yet. All will be revealed. Due time, I'm sure.
Are you okay? Your target is near.
I'm alright. To say, if the description hadn't already told me this game takes 10 minutes, I'd be more worried about that oxygen running out. Seems like we're alright. I'm walking the perimeter. Cool.
I
Really?
see you've collected almost all data.
That's right. That's just what I've done.
Do you understand what happened here? Human, I hope you do.
Nope. I'm afraid
I
I don't.
marked the final place for you, monster.
Scanning the area. Beep, beep, beep. Organic life forms detected. Status unknown.
Shut up, W.
I don't know. I was looking around for some organic life forms. Sometimes it's nice to deviate from the prescribed path a little. Just look around, you know? I guess. Just follow the road.
So wait.
Gotta follow the waypoints. They're there. Gotta follow them. Oh, look at that, huh?
No, no, no. It's a trap. Amazing. We are still alive. Let's get out of here. I have an idea where to go. Flashlight activated. This is bad, man. This is really bad. I hope we will find something there.
This text-to-speech reminds me of...
Oxygen, 15%.
Uh-oh.
Battery, 12%.
Reminds me of the games created by Forlorn Gaming.
Fuck. Empty. No supplies. Absolutely no supplies. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Calm down. I have another idea. Let's go.
All right. You're the boss. Not exactly feeling a sense of panic here that I feel like I'm meant to be experiencing. Oh. Little background music.
Here it is. The place for monsters like you and me. It's a good place to watch the dawn. Your oxygen is low. My batteries are low too.
So,
Let's spend this time on something beautiful.
okay. Okay. I mean, I guess I'm kind of curious to just do the very beginning part again and see if there's any very obvious differences in like the first 30 seconds. I choose a different option. Just do nothing.
Landing accomplished. All systems functional. Connecting to the control center.
I believe you know who you are and why you are here. Monster. I control this mission. Maria is our operator. She will be your guide.
Hello, I've set the navigation marker for you. Please, follow it.
Okay, I'm not going to go too far with trying to find if there are any differences. So, I mean, that was not like necessarily the most coherent narrative for me, but I don't always mind that so much, whether it was intentional or not, to kind of let you fill in the gaps. So there are parts of it that I enjoyed, and I mean, you know, the general like kind of feeling I get from it is sort of alluding to some sort of like nuclear bomb like testing or development type things, like a sort of Manhattan Project type vibe to it, where it seems like, you know, life on this planet was potentially like decimated by development of these weapons potentially. That was really the only place that my brain was going to playing through it. The sort of, that's why I guess the reference to like organic life being detected kind of like caught my interest in particular after showing like the kind of, you know, emptied out buildings. Like the way that you would always hear in relation to like, I can't remember if it was the hydrogen bomb or which, but the particular type of atomic bomb that would like supposedly destroy, you know, the human population and just organic population of an area and leave like buildings and other things intact. That was what it made me think of when I first came upon this area with just lots of kind of hollowed out shells of buildings and nothing around. And so then when the kind of reference to organic life came in there, that's why I immediately started kind of looking around a little bit more in that area. But I didn't really explore too thoroughly, so I don't know if there was anything that I missed. So yeah, I mean, and so then just that very last bit with the sort of sunrise and just sort of the view out over like this very kind of desert looking environment, you know, I was almost expecting a sort of like nuclear test blast type thing to appear, like a mushroom cloud instead of, you know, just the sunrise. So it was, that bit was actually fairly tense, I have to say. Like, I don't know, I had like a bit of an emotional moment with that sort of sunrise at the end, but not in a way that I like fully understand why. And I kind of like that. So yeah, I like those aspects of it. So let's see. Let's take a look. So innovation. I'm actually struggling a little bit on this one as far as innovation goes. Like, I mean, gameplay wise, it's pretty straightforward mechanically, but that's not obviously not the only way that you can innovate. There's certain things where I always like, I have a hard time interpreting if it's sort of a narrative game that seems like it maybe was, it's in English, but I can't necessarily tell if it was written by somebody who sort of is like a native English speaker, or at least has like a full grasp of sort of idiomatic English, where the parts that are sort of slightly vague in terms of the writing, like I'm never sure whether to interpret those as like intentional choices or just things that maybe got lost in translation a little bit. So anyway, I would just be speculating either way on that. But that seems to be the main area that would be innovative about it, would be the way it kind of tells the story. But I mean, a game where you kind of just walk around and get kind of story through audio feels fairly almost like the standard way to do these types of games at this point. So I don't know. I would still put it fairly low. Yeah. Fun. it wasn't especially fun. Again, I don't really know if it was really going for fun necessarily. The theme, it's like, I mean, the theme would be a lot stronger for me, I guess, if it was very clear, like, what my role was supposed to be and why people are calling me a monster. That would be one thing. The fact that it's vague means that, like, if it makes me feel like a monster, even if I don't know exactly why, then I would still consider a success at that point. I didn't especially feel like a monster because I just have no idea, like, what role I'm meant to have had in all this, and my actual role as a player is just kind of walking through it after the fact, after, like, whatever has happened. So, I don't know. It didn't really intrigue me that much as far as use of the theme goes. Just a lot of people saying to you, like, what do you think of this, you monster? It's kind of just feels a little bit weak to me in terms of, like, conveying that you're supposed to be a monster. Just having a bunch of people say to you that you're a monster doesn't really do it on any real, like, emotional level necessarily. And again, I think, like, doing it through the environment was a potentially very effective way, and if I had understood a little better what my relationship was to the environment, then it might have been very effective. So maybe just a few writing tweaks there could have kind of gotten that point across a little more strongly. The graphics, again, like, I really like them. Really like the graphics a lot, actually. And things like the sunrise and just the very stark minimalistic landscapes were good on their own, but then the use of lighting I thought was really great. Actually, the way things kind of, it got darker as you went along. Kind of went from day to night to then, like, sunrise was somehow made it feel like there was more happening and I'd been through a little bit more just through that. So I thought that was very effective. The audio, it was okay. I have to say, there are times when I really like the text-to-speech, and there are times when it takes me out of things, depending on what sort of tone the creator's going for. And in this case, there were sort of, like, people, I don't know if they were people, but these voices that are, like, communicating to me, calling me a monster or whatever, like, it seemed like these were lines that I would expect to be delivered sort of emotionally. Like, they felt like they were written from the point of view of somebody having, like, an emotional reaction to something I had done, but the fact that they're just being delivered in this robotic monotone kind of deflated that aspect of it for me a little bit, where it almost, like, made it funnier. And the, like, fuck thing, like, in a robot voice is just kind of, like, goofy to me. Like, it just makes me kind of slightly laugh / cringe more than, like, panic or whatever I was supposed to be doing at that point. So yeah, I don't know. But again, like, I wonder if, I'm just speculating, but I wonder if the text-to-speech thing wasn't used maybe because this person maybe is not primarily, like, English is not their first language or something. So they didn't necessarily have access to, like, English voice actors to read the stuff. But I mean, they wrote it. So I don't know. I could be way off there. Just making stuff up at this point. So yeah, the audio, I mean, it was better for having voice acting on the whole. It's just for some of the really, like, dramatic moments, I don't know that the robot voice was necessarily the best choice. Humor, again, I'm probably going to leave it as NA. And for the mood, as basically just follows on from what I was saying before, like, the parts, it was actually the very end was the most moody part for me, so it kind of did have the climactic moment sort of worked. And the use of music, like, that was the only time when I noticed the music. Like, I very much noticed that there was no music at the point preceding that, because it was meant to be, like, a very tense moment, like, oh, our oxygen is running out, oh no, You know, even though it was obvious, like in this type of game, like my oxygen's only going to run out when it's the end of the story anyway, or it's supposed to. So I didn't feel any tension in terms of what I was doing related to the oxygen warning. And then the fact that it was like total silence on the soundtrack didn't really heighten the tension for me. It actually just, to me, it called more attention to the fact like, oh, I'm just slowly walking through the only path that there is for me to walk through and doing the only thing that there is for me to do. And it just felt like very slow in that moment when seemed like it was meant to be like a very fast, dramatic thing, like I'm racing to escape or something. But that's not how I felt. So I felt like there were a lot of moments that didn't seem like they produced the mood in me that I felt like it seemed like the creator wanted me to feel. So, I wouldn't rate it very highly on mood either. And overall, I find it intriguing. Like it's actually more than some of the other games I've seen so far. Like this makes me want to be able to talk to the creator directly a little bit more. So maybe I will end up leaving a comment at some point later on, just to ask some questions. Because I mean, things like that initial choice at the very beginning, which is just I mean a very stereotypical like ethical dilemma on some level, where it's like, oh, do you follow utilitarian ethics and like, you know, kill the one person to save a million? That's like such a commonly done thing that it feels very cliche at this point. And then, so the three choices just kind of upfront with no context. And then, like, that was sort of, I felt like didn't bode well for the rest of it. Like, that was the first thing that came up. And, you know, obviously we were doing a bit of groaning about the potential ways that the creator could have taken that. So I was really glad that it wasn't taken in that direction. But then the fact that I had I just have no idea, like, what bearing that choice had on anything else. It just felt like this totally disconnected thing that I chose at the beginning. That, as far as I can tell, without doing much investigation, like, doesn't have much effect at all. Was kind of, that's actually, like, it's much more intriguing to me that I just have no idea how that links up. Like, if it's just there to try to make me reflect on, like, my own ethics or whatever, then it was certainly a very sort of ham-fisted way of doing it, but it's kind of cooler in some ways that, like, that I have to kind of guess about it. And so anyway, like, so that part was interesting to me, and the ending was interesting. Overall, though, I just, like, I find it to be a little bit incoherent in a way that's sometimes, like, I've experienced stories that other people just think are just completely incoherent, and I find them intriguing because I like to try to, like, fill in the gaps with my own kind of interpretation. In this one, I mean, there are some intriguing parts, but I feel a little more like it's just slightly more on the incoherent side for me anyway. So I wouldn't rate it too highly overall. I'd put it at 2. So thank you very much.
Yeah, cool.